All right, let's go. I can't wait for it. That's my name. I'm coming in late here. I'm sorry, but we're gonna make the best of it. So I need to rearrange my desk, but you know what? We'll just deal with it. It's fine. Whatever. All right, I got Spy pulled up. Um, Doing some technical analysis on that. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off these right here, and let's go ahead and get this in right here. And what I'm looking at here is I'm kind of trying to plot out like what's the minimum, what's the maximum of where this thing is going to go and how it's going to get there. And so right now I've got it to right here. That's how we're going to get there. I was wondering how that was going to finish out. So what I do is in a crazy, weird, um, super smart, algorithmic way of looking at the market. I have other ways of looking at the market, but this right here I find to be scarily accurate. I think the market repeats itself over and actually I know the market repeats itself over and over again because it's basically on different timelines trying to catch up with the larger timelines. And so all timelines are constantly repeating themselves. The smaller ones are working, 5, 10, 15, 20 times faster than the bigger ones. And so the bigger ones almost look like they're frozen in time until you get a big move. And then it looks like it's moving all of a sudden. It's moving the whole time, but see, the market's constantly moving up and down. So it just looks like it's not moving at all until it makes a big move going in one direction. And then the big timeline looks like it's actually moving. So when you take that to an effect, all the smaller timelines are doing the exact same move. That's how it builds the bigger timeline to look the way that it does. If you take each candle and you do the exact same set of moves on a micro level, it builds that candle to look the way it's supposed to at that moment. And then the next candle looks the way it's supposed to at that moment, and so on and so forth, building it up, shrinking it down, building it up, shrinking it down, building it up, shrinking it down, until it makes one candle on a much larger time frame. And so I'm looking at a 15-minute time frame, which is probably going to have to repeat itself 100 times just to get one candle on like a daily. I mean, obviously it's there's a easier way to calculate that, but I'm not going to go into that right now. So right now we're looking at it. I got this trend line painted right here. It might be too tight, but if we watch this candle and wait for it, it'll shrink back down, I'm guessing. And so that's what we're looking at right now. Is this candle going to shrink back down? Is it going to be over aggressive, come outside of this and shrink back down, stay inside this hole that it's supposed to, and then continue going down and going back over? That's what we're looking at. But look at it. Look at it. It's shrinking. Doesn't mean it's going to stay there. If retail decides to jump in on this and actually take control of the market, because institutional buying has already bought up the float at this point. It's controlled. That's why it's moving up. So if retail buyers don't get scared and get weak hands and actually jump in and start moving this stock, it will move. But it won't do it unless retail is 100% on the same side. If I got half of retail on one side getting scared and the other half of retail, balls to the wall, it hits this area, look what happens. They get scared because that's where they got scared in the past. It's the same place. It happens. over and over and over and over. This thing is dialed in on the psychology of the retail player. It's it's not voodoo. I'm not Nostradamus. I don't knows what's gonna happen. Nostradamus, get it? I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but I know that retail gets scared right here. And this is where they fail. So, are they gonna make it over the hump? I don't think so. I think they get scared and I think they drop it. But if they do decide to get over the hump and they do decide to unite and push this thing past this point, then what is our resistance line right now will be our support on the other side, and it will ride the top of this wave in between this and the next line. And so I'm going to paint it orange. All right. Now, there's a lot more to doing this. You can't just go back and just grab whatever and throw it up here and think that it's going to work. It doesn't work like that. You have to actually look at the price action, identify what move is it on, and where's it most likely going to go in the near present future. And then, so you can overshoot this or undershoot this by a long shot. And I mean, it could go all over the place. You could be completely off by days. You could be exactly on by seconds. You can be completely um, too late or too soon. So you have to kind of set some ideals of what you're expecting of this to happen. So I expect this to get knocked down off of this. I expect it to come down and touch this line again. It might run past it, but then bleed back up and get on top of this and support and solidify above this yellow line. Once it does that and starts making a move in the right direction, I'm thinking about getting in. That's my cue. When this stock starts to act like in a way that I can predict it that it should that when I can say this stock is acting like it should based on previous experiences, this one is going to do the exact same thing as what I anticipate it to do. When it's behaving like that, I want that dog. I want that dog to hunt for me because I'm ready. I want to go hunting. You know? I'm going to take that dog out and we're going to go hunt. I'm going to shoot some rabbits, you know? So that's what I'm looking for out of a stock when I do this. I'm not trying to just predict, where, I mean, I actually am. I'm trying to predict where it's going to go. But I'm also setting up an area for me to safely get in and say, hey, this stock is doing what it was doing in the past, and now I'm ready to get in because it's behaving like I expect it to, you know? So now if it starts behaving unlike I expect it to, stay out because that's you know, it's taboo land for me. I'm like, I don't know where this is going. I'm gambling at that point. I'm gambling on the fact that I have no freaking clue what the hell is going on. I'm FOMOing in. This thing is going to the moon. I'm jumping in. I'm throwing my money in there. And then the next thing you know, it comes crashing down to do exactly what I expected it to do in the first place. And that's where you mess up. So, my job predict where it's going to go, find out where it's going to land, wait for it to solidify, show me a reason to jump in. Once it shows me a reason to jump in, I jump, and that's how I trade. So I've only been trading for 9 months. I have acquired savant syndrome. I'm a little bit different than most people, but I got hit in the back of the head. It gave me 11 staples, and they didn't scan for any damages. They sent me on my way. 4 months went by. Woke up. I went to bed one night. Woke up the next day, and was completely lost in my life. I lost every sense of need, want, desire that I had, and had no ownership of it. Like I had never made those decisions. I remember them, but I didn't have ownership of them. It's a weird thing, but it's kind of like having your being left side dominant and waking up right side dominant and having your right side have to justify everything that your left side had to make, all the decisions that it had to make its whole life, and your right side being stuck in that life, not liking it. tremendous amount of anxiety, drove me to want to express myself. I had a huge desire to want to paint. I couldn't draw, couldn't paint before the wreck. I start painting. I buy art supplies, start painting. I immediately find out that I can paint near realism and paint portraits. Blows my mind. I don't understand why I'm able to paint because I couldn't draw a face to save my life. And so then fast forward, I'm throwing curveballs at myself, testing myself to figure out what else, what else is going on, what else is weird, what else can I do? And I spray painted a mural that's 50 foot by 50 foot. Never spray painted before in my life. Had no idea how to spray paint. It's way harder than painting. I still did it. I spray painted a mural on the side of a warehouse, crushed it. Fast forward, having financial problems because I couldn't go back to my old life. My brain wouldn't let me. I can do it, but my brain won't let me. So it's a weird thing, another weird story. But anyways, I get into helping a university for day trading. I take a very preliminary, basic, you know, chapter of how to trade, and then I just after I learned that, I mean, like very basic. Um, I started looking at the market and I started to see something. And I saw what I call a curve. And a curve is the start of distribution that ends up finishing back at distribution at a higher level. And I saw it. I had no idea about anything in the market. I didn't look at anybody else's teachings. I just did the very preliminary learning of this school's thing, which was garbage. But um, I looked at it and I said, that's institutional buying. That is a bigger company, financial institution that is buying and selling, and that is their path. And it's just this curve. It moves from here, comes down, comes up, comes down, goes back up, and stops at a higher point, comes down, goes back up, stops at another higher point, or at the exact same high point. If it can't break that point, then it drops back down, starts all over again. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's institutional buying. I started making rules set on it because I couldn't find out what it was. And like I said, I don't like watching other people's stuff. So I just made my own rule set. I said, this is what I see, and this is the rules that I'm going to lay out for it. I call it the curve. And then so I've been trading for 9 months, and about 3 months ago, 2 months ago, I started looking at other people's stuff, and I found uh, a guy who went over Wyckoff and Wyckoff schematics, and so that was the answer. That was the missing link to what I had saw. It was the technical know-how or analysis of what the curve was doing, and so I versed myself on that. Added it to the curve, and now I have this visual and technical way of analyzing the market and seeing it. And so I also, by looking at different indicators, I don't even have to use the indicators what they're used for. I just visually use them to kind of sum up all the information that I would normally get just by breaking down the price action and how it's moving between the Bollinger Bands. I would use those to kind of shorten the amount of time it takes to do all that. And so that's my trading style is now I actually just see things in the market and I test them out and I go with them. So that's a kind of a long short story of how I got into trading. Um, but so anyways, moving on. And so now let's see, what do we have here? All right. So you can see the SPY or the ES is struggling to get by right here. I'm going to copy this link and I want to go to, no, I don't want to do that. Let's go here. Let's go to YouTube. There's a guy who's actually covering it right now, and I just want to paste this link in his link. I'm going to fuck with people. Oh, jeez. So my old counterparts are streaming right now. We don't speak their name. They're garbage. But let's see. Where was this guy? Pirate. He's live now. There he is. Yeah, let me see if I can take a picture of this. Yeah, that's good enough. See, like right now, there's this guy named John Quill who's watching Pirate Trader, who's actually a good ES trader. I don't think he's active right now. So, but his chat's still going, and he's saying, "I'm going to go long 20 contracts with a two-tick stop." Dude, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that right now. Uh, I mean, you can, but I wouldn't. Um, let's see, what is this? He probably did it up here at the top too. So if he did a two-tick stop up here at the top, then yeah, he's already in trouble of getting stopped out.
Oh man, the M period snuck up on me. All right, guys. M period is here. Light up the chat. Trading Donkey already started us off with 420450. Well, super specific. 0450. So we're looking at right here, right where this little node of volume is. That's what Donkey's seeing the close at. What am I looking at here? Well, market's above value.
We got
I could see
15,
the
so
M
we got
period
two
pulling us
15
right
minutes
back
left
down
right here.
towards the POC, maybe repairing this weak J period
4203.
low, and then doing some crazy thing like pushing its way back up. I
Yeah, I
would
think
feel
it comes down
safe
right
guessing
here.
we're not going to make new highs in the M period. If anything, we pull down or we rotate around in here. High seeing a pullback to 49.81.
What's this? 4203.
All right. Brandon seeing the push higher to 42.11. Philip, 41.93. Okay, little pullback here.
So they're saying they're predicting where it's going to go. Someone's saying it's going to go to 42.11. Yeah, no, not going to happen. But let's look at it. ES.
All right, I can't wait for it. See uh 40 4191 to 4203. Okay, let's range in here. So far, it seems like we're just bouncing around.
How do I pull up the ES on theirs?
We did get that tick, that one big tick that broke the uptrend, but it got bought up right away. So I think it's
Here it
safe to
comes.
say that higher prices are being accepted finally here at the end of the day. Can you imagine being an overnight trader who like bought in here and then you put like your stop way down here thinking like, "Oh, I'll be fine." And then you wake up this morning and they literally dipped all the way down, took out your stop, and then came right back to your entry. You'd be so disappointed.
I'm streaming. What you up to? You good? You good? Okay, good. My little girl checking in. I don't see you breaking out of the downtrend. I don't know what you're looking at. What's up, babe? Sure. I love you. All right, so this guy, Brandon Casey, he says, "Hey, look at that. We just broke out of the downtrend. I don't know if you're looking at the same thing I'm looking at, but still looking down to me." Oh boy, people trip me out. And now I'm a little bit behind everybody else, but I'm gonna stick to my chart here. I'm looking at it, and it's it might come up halfway, but it's gonna stay down pretty low still. So I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna listen to this guy while he does his thing. I'll look at my other ones. So we got RRR, um, still looking down. I mean, it's making its way back up, but it's still kind of down right now. So um, let's save this chart. It's already saved. So let's look at Home Depot. Oop, it's making a move back up again. All right, this guy responded back. I don't give a fuck what you're looking at. This guy's like, but I'm looking at a two tick with Rinko. It's not going. I told him I'm listening to the voices in my head, and they're saying it's not going. He goes, it's gonna be so volatile tomorrow. He said he's gonna have his voices call my voices, and I said, please do. Maybe we can have them negotiate it out. All right, let's see. Um, in play. ET 874. I needed to get up to $9. It was there, and then it kind of backed off. Kind of not the close I wanted, but it's still showing a lot of huge potential, so I'm cool with it. CWK finally showing life and getting back into the game. I love it. Wait, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Sorry. All right, let's rewind here. All right, so ET, which is energy transfer. They still showing life in the game, looking good. They took a little bit of a breather. It hit the 880 mark and started showing resistance just like I thought it would. So tomorrow, hopefully, it'll pop over. It might come back down right here into this area, 840, and then bounce out and go long. Most likely, they're going to sandbag it for Friday, and then Monday, it's actually going to show a little bit more progress. So that's probably what we're looking at there. ENBL looking strong. I mean, it did pull back and everything like that, but it's still closing green. You show them ENBL. ET and ENBL are kind of tied together, and so um, that's that's going to be a strong play. ENBL is undervalued by $3 billion, just a little bit, and so they should be seeing their stock price double. Not a big deal, and it's about six. What was it? 650. So we're looking at somewhere around like $13 that the stock should be, and right now it's sitting right at 750. So in the next 2 months, you're going to see it close that gap. By July, that merger will be complete, and even if it falls through under the table, it's still valued at $7 billion. Again, just a small amount, um, which they were undervalued by half that. So it is going to double and it will stay there. ET, if it falls through, is probably going to fall back down. So safer play, ENBL, ET, still a strong play. They're both moving up, pretty much like together. And then what we got? RRR took a drop today, but it gapped up like $3. So no one's hating on it. I'm not upset with you, buddy. You take a breather. You deserve it. You know what? You take the rest of the week off. You don't have to do nothing. Come back refreshed on Monday and freaking gangbuster it because you were looking strong. Thoroughbred here. RRR acts like just like HD, and it moves. It doesn't move up like tremendous amounts at a time, but it doesn't come down. It basically holds a line and just keeps going. And so it's a very solid option play if you can catch it on divergence, which I did. I caught it on divergence, and the very next day it popped and jumped up. I mean, you can see right here. I caught it. I caught it here on this guy, And so here's your divergence there. If I had the MACD and the stochastic RSI up, you could see it. And so it shows divergence here. I'm like
All
scrambling to
right, they're
like free
pushing
up
it in the M
shares,
period.
and then it I jump in on two contracts because all I
They
could
still got
scrounge
room,
up,
plenty of room in the
and then it just
ticks
takes
to
off.
push higher.
And the next day it's like boom, and then it takes 2 days for a breather, and then it's like boom, it jumps up, and the next day it jumps up, and the next day it jumps up, and then today it finally comes down, closes this gap. Basically, it's on top of this breakout area of this box that I drew, which is the consolidation. That's a standard move for it to do. Finds support, now takes off and goes for a higher high. So hopefully
It's
it'll do
hard to
that
imagine this whole
tomorrow.
day only brought us right back to the opening price. So crazy.
But yeah, so just waiting on the.
Quite a move.
So now we got Cushman and Wake, CWK. Where's my CWK? Oh, I must have changed it here by accident.
Yeah, I see that spot you're talking about between 93 and 95, the low volume. I think it was just the breakout. It was just like different nodes, you know what I mean? For the overnight when they got to that spot, that was their like they had single prints there because that's when everybody got really like excited. See, this was where our high was. When they broke out above that, they got super exuberant and they just got a very quick push
I'm
up to
listening
the
to him
higher
talk. Sorry.
prices where they balanced from
Um,
there. And
he's
so
talking
when
about
we came
nodes,
back
so he
down, we
is he is
crashed right
educated.
through
I
it
like that. I like
because they
pirate.
didn't really put any volume there either. And
Pirate
we
trading.
just rotated
He,
down
I
to
mean,
where
he
there
is
was more
really
volume.
he's on it.
So,
I
yep,
listened to him before I
that
actually
happens.
considered started streaming, and was really intrigued by what he had to say.
So, all in all, this is pretty good structure moving up. Only 1 week reference left behind. Not that big of a deal. Let's see how hard they can push it.
All right, so Cushman and Wakefield took a little bit of a nosedive yesterday. It actually ran up pretty hard. Then it took a nosedive the day before, and then yesterday it kind of tried to start to come back. And today it's pushing hard to get back up in there, and I like it. So it's staying inside of my little area here, which I'm not mad about. And I drew some new trend lines based on its movement to kind of give it um, what is it? A little bit more aggressive focus. I don't think it's going to hold this all the way through here. At some point, it's going to break through this because I really didn't put a lot of time past this area right here. But um, it'd be really interesting to see it do that because if it did that, it would die. Um, so let's see. Going up. Let's check back on the spy here. It's trying to make moves. Looks like it's about almost even to this line up here, but I think it's going to get pushed back down. Um, so I just told him, I said, he goes, I believe it can fly 4211. I was like, "What?" And so the price, we're a little bit high on the trading view here. But the price is about right where this line is. And I said, this is your moment of truth right here, Brandon. Can retail sustain this climb and hold, or are they going to get scared and start dropping shares? And I said, watch the wick appear and disappear. I said, I believe in them. It's now or tomorrow is a monkey show. Who's Charles? Look at it. Look at it. Okay, so the wick is forming and disappearing, forming and disappearing, forming and disappearing. Boom. Big, big, big red wick just popped down. It's getting bought back up, but they are struggling right now. I said, if you look at my chat, I drew, or look at my chart, it shows why they're having issues. I said, it doesn't mean they can't rally. I said, sorry. I said, because this is the same point in this move that they had problems with last time and couldn't overcome. Doesn't mean they can't rally and but it's a big psychological resistance for them, and that's why they're having problems with it right now. These these lines that I draw, they don't line. They're like Shakira's hips, you know. They don't lie. They just hold on tight. And so, just like you should if she was standing in front of you. These lines they don't lie. And so they're getting shook off left and right like it was a riding bronco. And so now they're coming into the last 8 minutes of this ride, and if they don't freaking rally up, they're gonna freaking belly up. They're gonna free up those shares. Institutional's gonna buy them up, and then take it up by themselves overnight. Gap up the. I bet this thing gaps up. I actually, uh, he goes, yeah, but if they could just hold on for 8 more minutes, we could all be rich. And I said, yeah, I agree, but they have weak hands and institutionals want their shares. All right, so we did our job for the day. We went into somebody else's YouTube channel No offense, pirate, I love you to death. And you didn't say anything wrong. You actually were spot on. You were speaking the Bible. I'm just talking about the people in your chat. So we went and found some people talking like, I'm going to go in and, do this. And then we tried to warn them, and they fired back saying, well, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I see. So then we hit them with the truth, and then it happens in reality. We gave them a chart, and now they can be believers. And that's how you that's how you spread the word. You know, Moses and Jesus didn't just jump up and start speaking one day and people started listening. Something happened. So, on that note, we got 6 minutes left in this market. Let's see what's going on here. Who else can we look at? We've got ENBL getting back up to 18 cents. I like it. ET getting up to 21 cents, half of where it was earlier. CWK still holding strong at 50 cents almost, up on the day. XPOA finally moving up 8 cents after it took a nosedive yesterday. Oh my God, what a bloodbath. Um, RRR down $1.35 is at 37.47. Was sitting at closer to 39 earlier. Let's see. Let's get into this. CWK. This is CWK still holding strong where it's at. RRR trying to shrink up this candle as much as it can. NXTD. I bet it gaps up tomorrow actually. 4204.50. Let's take a look at the SPY or ES. 4204.50. Yeah, it was one candle over, but it can shrink back down. I said 4203. Some change. Wait, is this going to catch up all of a sudden? Because his is showing down. Mine gets wiped out. Okay, mine hasn't gotten wiped out yet. 4203.25. So yeah, what we're gonna do, I think what I'm gonna do starting out is I'm just gonna jump in on other people's streams and just participate in their chat, spread the gospel. Um, you know, uh, bump elbows with people, maybe even butt heads. On my chart, it looks like it's on high here, but on theirs, it looks like it's coming down 4,200. I guess I should have published this, huh? Oh, Scheisetoffen. This would have been good for everybody else. ES. Who's it? 20. What's this? 428. Nope.
All right, guys. Well, a relatively muted M period here. A little bit of volatility, but mostly just bouncing around within
429.
this new range.
20. 21.
To me, is a first signal of acceptance of higher prices, right? This area where the M period is bouncing around, this is where the overnight was bouncing last night, between where it spent the most time and where it put in the most volume. That's what this M period is bouncing around in. And we are now putting in volume here. So the POC still remains below. The value area still remains below. However, the value area is overlapping to higher. And we did break out of the balance once again. So all of that is quite bullish moving forward. I think the overnight market might be due to pull back a little bit. So let's see where we open tomorrow. Are we back up in this range? Are we higher? Or have we pulled back down into this range down here where the POC is? We shall see. Thank you guys so much. It was a good day. I hope you all had a great day and made some money. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot.
Seriously. All right. So that ends the day. We did our job. We posted to Trend Trading View. I posted a chart on the chat. Somebody else's activity on people trying to prevent them from doing stupid shit. And was within $2.50 on a stock that moves pretty hard on where it ended up. It ended up at 42.01, and I was at 42, 43.50 maybe, something like that. So, anyways, that is going to wrap up today. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something. If you enjoyed this, if you want to see more of this, please like and subscribe. Send me a comment down below, and we'll do this every day. Um, I've got a unique style. Nobody's doing this like I'm doing it. Not that I'm aware of, but I could be wrong. But I mean, this is like just one version of the way that I do it, but this is the most visual way that I could show it to people, so that way they can understand what I see. And so if you have stocks you want me to chart out, if you have questions about what I do, you got personal questions about me, myself, whatever it is that you have questions about, put them in the comments below. Shoot me a message. I'm on Instagram at I can't wait for it, the same as it is on YouTube. I'm on Facebook as I can't wait for it. I'm everywhere. You name it. So if you just message me and tell me what you want me to chart out, if you got any questions about something I do, if you don't like something I did, you just tell me. I don't care. Um, and then I'll respond to it. So you have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. It's probably going to be a crazy day. I don't know how much we'll cover. I'll probably be on a couple times, and we'll just take it from there. Thanks again.